guy who got a volunteer position on the state school board by spending $1 million more than the other guy. The other guy spent $30,000. He spent $1 million and won by what was 150 some votes or so. He does have a lot of money. He has friends who have a lot more money, some of them with those billions that we speak of. So if it's just a matter of dollars and cents, he will win. But I'm convinced, and I've learned this. This is my 7th race, first one at the federal level, but I've run several races for the House and the Senate, and I've always been outspent, usually by a factor of 2 or 3 or times 10, because it's not dollars that vote, it's people that vote. Get on the ground with a campaign that resonates with the people and connects with the people. That's why when I started my race, I didn't jump in until I had a big network of folks who signed up and said, we'll be a part of this. And they have been that beginning, you might say that vanguard of energy and momentum that we've been using to move forward in this campaign. Let me add one other wrinkle here too. That is the fact that we've got a primary. I actually like that. I really do. Now, I think I'm the guy you ought to vote for. I really do. And there's, in all honesty, there's a third guy who's running as well. But not too much. but I should acknowledge it at least. I believe that competition makes us all better. It pushes us to do what we need to do that much quicker. And we're going to need every bit of sophistication and preparation and energy and mobilization when we hit the ground, because to counter Polis's advantage in money, we have to have 2 advantages. One is a better message that resonates with the people of Colorado, and number 2 is the team to do it with. That's what I bring to the table, and every day I'm glad Eric is running because he pushes me, and if he's the better guy, then I want to get behind him, and we're going to beat Jared Polis. But I still prefer you voting for me.
Well, we definitely have in common a strong desire to send Jared Polis back to the private sector where he belongs. And we hope that we can get 50 plus 1, 50% plus 1 of the voters in our district to agree with us, no matter which of us is the nominee on the representative. Those 2 things that Kevin talked about are very important, but you can't discount the importance of that in politics. It goes way back, and while he did win that race with $1 million, he won his first congressional race with $6 million of his own, and another $1.5 million or so that he raised. So he is willing to spend money, and he has. That was all the way on primary. In the old district, the Republicans never faced the challenge, and that is definitely changing this time. In terms of money, I would just say we have to have enough to be competitive. We have to have enough to get that message out. It has to be a message that resonates. It has to be a message that works. It has to be a message that people say, yes, those are the values that we need to have in Washington. But if no one hears it, and remember there's going to be a huge presidential race and so much noise, if no one hears it, it won't get out. We don't have to have more, but we have to have enough. So you have to have enough. When the fundraising numbers come out, he's going to have written some big check to this campaign. We should have a pool. Some big check to this campaign, and we will have what we raise. But you should take a look at that, and who's donating and so forth, and see who's going to be able to create a campaign that is going to be viable. So we can't discount the importance of money. Will we make him spend more time in the district? Absolutely. He has already been spending more time in the district. I've bumped into him with things that are in events and so forth that he hasn't been to in 5 years. You know, I happen to be Jewish. He happens to be Jewish, and we have. He has felt threatened as I've acquired a lot of support in that community, and we're starting to see him show up at those events. We're starting to see him show up in you know, the equivalent of county events and just show up. And I've had people in the outer counties of this 10-county district, in the small counties, say, I don't think where Congressman Bullis even knew where our county was, but he's made an appointment to be here next month. So, yeah, we're keeping him in town. We're not letting him go around and raise money for the Democrats.
Okay, this is a question I think everybody struggles with. Given that the Democrats have a proven history and method of turning the independent voters against Republican candidates by portraying them as mean, hard-hearted social conservatives, how will you approach the social issues questions that are sure to become part of the conversation? How will you turn the conversation back to what you want to focus on and what the debate is really about?
Well, I think the first thing to say is that I'm a social libertarian. I don't want government involved in these decisions. I don't want government in those decisions. So, I am not a person who it's easy to characterize as a social conservative because I'm not. I don't like abortion, but I don't think it's the role of government to regulate it and so forth. So those types of things, I really do have different positions, and my positions on those issues resonate with those 33% of independents. But how do you turn it off of that? You say, come on, we need to be talking about our big problems here. We're adding 1% of our budget to GDP, or 1% of GDP to our debt each and every month. We can't be talking about these same squabbles that we're never going to resolve. We need to be talking about the big problems, refocusing on that. We've got to fix entitlements. We've got to cut spending. We've got to have fair taxes. We've got to get our economy moving. We shouldn't be talking about those. Let's talk about the things that really matter.
There is a difference between Eric and I when it comes to the social issues. I have, in the last 10 years, shown very clearly I'm pro-life, and I do believe that marriage means one man, one woman, period. I will not run from those issues. And when I look at the people of Colorado, I believe they are not neutral on an island. So it's not a matter of, well, and let me say one other thing about this, and that is a government cannot be neutral either. You're either allowing abortion or you're not allowing abortion. Or either calling marriage this or you're going to call it that. But the real issue, and this we certainly do agree on, is the economy. And that is the number one concern when I talk with people. Subset of that is the debt crisis. And sure, it's been over in Greece and it's been in Europe, but if you look at the fundamentals here in this country, we are not too far away from that. People understand that problem. And they understand that the problem is in Washington, the spending spree that instead of slowing down seems to ramp up faster and faster and faster. We have to fix that. We have to stay on mark for that being the discussion that we have. I know that one of the big struggles within a campaign is to make sure you are on your conversation, not their conversation. I'll submit this one final thing, and that is if you've watched Jared Polis through the years, he doesn't want to go there on those social issues either. He stays away from it because he doesn't win either. So I think we've got a little bit of an ace in the hole in that one. And it will be interesting to see how it really turn out. Because I'm sure it's going to happen somewhere on some TV station. Somebody's going to drop something in, and I'm going to stand with the principles that I've stood for and provide that leadership and let the people choose at that point.
He may not want to go there in public, but there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on, I'm sure.
I'm sorry, he does go there in public. He's made one of his planks be the funding of Planned Parenthood. We're protecting and increasing that. I totally am opposed to that funding for Planned Parenthood. If there's a line item that we should not have any debate about eliminating, it's that, and I know you agree with me on that. And so he does go there on that. Sorry to take the mic.
That's fine, that's fine.